And it is not third Saturday, so you don't have to worry. Don't look at your calendars wondering why you hear my voice. Yes, it is MC Queen Solar. I am filling in for none other than Marilyn Young of You Don't Know My Story. That's right. This is Holla Back Buffalo. So Buffalo, what appropriate transition that we want you to holla back, because as our last show geared up, we left it off in a space where we want to hear more from the community. And I love when we can bridge things together. I call them taking a solar moment. I do. I really do. And let's take a solar moment. The number here is 716-837-1112. Do. And we want to hear from you. We're talking about a project in our community a little bit, right? But I think now we're talking more so about what is a community town hall anyway? Let's just start there, because people hear town hall and they think that it's supposed to be given by the government. They think it's supposed to be in the middle of the city, like a city hall, or in the town hall, because some places have town halls, right? Not just city halls. Explain to me what your concept of a town hall meeting is, Miss Candace.
Okay, well,
Mama said, hold on.
My concept, because I kind of put it, the title of the town hall is.
Okay, I got it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Kensington 33 and Humboldt Parkway, and I chose that because the meetings we have attended, that was done by in a New York State Department of Transportation, has been listening tour. We are going to meetings to listen, and what the people need is an opportunity to talk, to ask questions, to find out what's going on. So the town hall meeting is always community participation. As opposed for a forum that you can have just guest speakers or panelists, a town hall has to have public input. It has to have public participation, engagement. And so I thought, what better way to have it in our community? As you know, we have gone to a meeting that was held at Schiller Park. That's on the outskirts of Buffalo, near the Cheektowaga border. We've gone to one at Ken Bailey, which was good. It was Ken Bailey, right? The second meeting was at
Saunders.
At Saunders.
At Saunders was
building.
same, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then the other one was at Cheektowaga and all that snow a couple of weeks ago. The next one would be at the Amherst Town Hall, which is on James Audubon, all around the city, in Amherst, New York, February 5th. That's a listening tour that's done by NYSDOT. And also one will be held in Lancaster very soon as well. So I asked the people who are organizers, why are we skipping around Buffalo when the 33, as in packed Buffalo we're talking about, is Dead Heart in City Buffalo on the east side of Humboldt Parkway between Dodge and Sydney. And he said they will get there, but we want outside input as well, because they're going to do community input for 1 year. And so we made sure that not only would the people in Buffalo be able to come to a meeting that's going to be accessible, that they get an opportunity to speak. And so at our town hall meeting, there will be notes, there will be dots, there will be chart boards. There also will be microphones so people can have public participation and engagement, because we can't sit here and decide what's going to happen in your house and in your community without community participation and engagement.
I'm stuck. So go ahead, Candace, because I'm clutching my non-existing pearls right now. Please forgive me.
I just wanted to add that the information that ESP has put together in our booklets and information has been extracted from the DOT original document. So the air quality, the traffic things, and then we've had professional folks who do that work to really look at that information. And we've been able to extrapolate and create these educational materials for community residents. So you can see them on our Instagram, you can see them on our Facebook, they're on our website. And so those will be some of the things that we will be having at the town meeting. But we want you to read it. We want you to ask questions because this is your life. This is your livelihood. This is your generational wealth or lack thereof. It is important for us as community members to educate ourselves in all the areas, all the layers of this project, so that you can advocate for the best project for you, your family, and for generations to come of your family.
Now you just okay. So now my antennas is up. I have released the pearls that are not there, and what you all said is taking this whole conversation up a whole nother notch, because when you think of how do we secure ourselves, how do we protect ourselves, how do we articulate for ourselves, advocating, so to speak, how do we secure our children, and then let's flip it, whether the 33 exists or not, doesn't that sound like everything else that we have to deal with in this country right now?
Yes.
How do we send ourselves outside, and even like the light skin, the dark skin, it doesn't matter of your skin color right now. We have to learn how to come together and have these type of gatherings, because our lives really depend on it. And I didn't want to go there, but unfortunately, just like we're having a town hall for what's going on with the Kensington 33, I believe that God, I give him credit for everything, created this atmosphere because we need to make sure that we position ourselves for a town hall overall. Let's talk about it, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want no ice in my cooler right now, but I won't act like it don't exist. I don't want to have to tell my children that my black and brown children, no, you don't just have to worry about one incident, but while you out with my other children, because I have multiple rainbow children, all of you need to be aware of how you're moving, how you're talking, where are you going? Do you have your ID? Can you identify yourself as a United States citizen, right? Because now you get caught up on the 33, we don't want no problems. This town hall concept is so imperative for us across the country, right?
Yes.
Because if we do not learn how to put our views together, then we will stay up under attack.
Yes.
And I'm just curious. Somebody help me out, because holla back. That's right. If you're out there, we want you to holla back. We want you to practice what it is that we're asking you to practice. 716-837-1112. What is your current mindset on what's going on in our community? How do you get yourself involved? Is that a question? Is that a concern? Do you want to get? Oh, we got a caller. Let's go.
Oh, that's great. Caller, you on air.
All right, beautiful day to all of you. This is Ross Jomo calling. I want to just add understanding, and one understanding is that there are multiple systems going on, and as a community, we realize that we need to be more together, more organized, and we're going to have to understand systems.
Yes.
And history is showing that we're not together like we should be. So now this becomes a project that we can figure out how to put our systems back. I said black, but I guess it is back.
All right.
Back or black in
I
place
like to play
again.
on
It works
words.
both ways. But what is happening is that there's multiple layers of government. There's multiple layers of funding. There's multiple levels of project. There's multiple layers of construction. There's multiple layers of job, and there's multiple layers of health. And all of these are systems that have been in place, that many of them have put us in a bad place, and we're all in systems trying to function without a black agenda. And that's what our big problem is, because all of these systems are things that we have had to respond to, and now we're being forced to respond to something that most of us haven't been prepared to even participate in. So you can knock on the community doors all you want. Our people worry about paying their bills. They worry about, are they going to go to the doctor's appointment? Why do I got this cough? I don't have no job. You want me to go to training program? I ain't got no license. I can't get there. I don't have no tools. So I just want to put that in, and I also want to congratulate and tell everybody to keep on working in the area that they called. And I just want to give two comments, and I'll be done for
That's
this one.
Jomo.
We'll talk later. But here's one thing that I heard, and I think it could be work in tandem. And this is one of the ideas that I was trying to communicate at one of the meetings. Everything that has happened to people health-wise from the past, I believe that the idea of maybe trying to concentrate the energy maybe around the Gales Medicine campus, that should be something that's done. And I think that we should be working simultaneously to put that under reparations, because that is what the repair is that's bigger than the Department of Transportation. This is a government-sponsored reality that has affected us. And the 633 right now is not going to repair itself what happened to families generation and generation ago, but that is part of the reparations study that's going on right now in New York State. And for all of black people and everybody who want to applaud us, help us get our repair health-wise and monetary-wise if they're really concerned about us. That's one thing. Number two, Solar, you did ask about the jobs. All construction projects start so that you can finish it and be unemployed. This project, envisioned by the community, was funded by federal money that the Biden administration finally realized and has admitted, and said that the United States has destroyed black neighborhoods all over America, and they targeted cities to help repair, one, the neighborhood with whatever people could find, and two, make sure that extra money was put there. Say, hey, I want to give the work to people who are getting paid prevailing wage, but since you unions and labor people always got this excuse about not finding black people, these expressways have hurt black communities all over America. I'm going to put extra money aside so that the pre-training programs can take place, because we're going to put higher goals of employment on these projects. So that is another legal, governmental aspect that happens, and we have to be able to understand that and to take advantage of it. We have hundreds of people who want a job. Many people can't get inside the unions, especially because we don't have any pre-training. We don't have a pre-training. There's hundreds of people trying to get in each union, and there's like a waiting list. So the more background training you have, the better it is to get there. I wrote an article in the Challenger about a few years before COVID, telling everybody about the Bill Stadium and what's going to happen with the 33. And I told everybody that the unions are going to get the majority of the work. What I would suggest everybody start doing is try to get your young people or yourselves thinking about how to get into the trade so they could get themselves ready. So in a few years, you might can be an apprentice and you can be a professional, and then you might can maybe open a company.
Jomo.
So we're going to go. I want to stop there. But
I'm going to hold Jomo
it,
accountable for leading the way through the trades. Y'all better pay attention to him, because as he's climbing the ladder, congratulations. You have the knowledge, you have the ability, and I know you do a lot of things in the community, yet I will try to make sure that I hold you accountable as these trades jobs come up, that you are the leader of the trade mission. How about that?
No. Not the leader of trade vision, but I'm going to give you everything I can. Let me tell you what happened. What
happened was.
So, no, a good thing. The city of Buffalo and the Carpenters Union, because we knew that the jobs were happening. So I talked with Ms. Jeter many times before she passed, and we even met in Albany when she got the award for the Senate. And I said, don't worry, I've been working on something for a couple of years. For 4 years, I don't want to take the show talking about this, but what I want to explain is this. The trade union, the Carpenters Union, worked with the Buffalo Public Schools, with Rob Harris. All of those things worked out. We were at McKinley High School. We had different students from different schools be able to come to a pre-training program, and those children, we were trying to get people ready in the community right out of high school so that when the project started, we can take them right to the job. The lawsuit stopped the project, and those are the people that we already had even as young people, and there were some other adult programs going. EOC had a pre-training program. I will pass out the information, Delvin Wright. I passed out everywhere. It was on.
Well, you know what, Jomo, you did what I needed you to do. You took that solar moment. I'm not cutting you off, but I know you got 1,000 things to do. You said what we needed you to say.
Go ahead. We're going to keep working at it.
Yeah, because we got work to do.
But it's a good program, and everybody, please tell what you all have been learning, because I think that everybody's information is important, especially about the health and especially about the future. We need all of it, and maybe that's how come it's not going away. We need everybody's input so that we can make the best move forward in all of these systems. So I'm congratulating you all, and I'm saying everybody pay attention and stay focused on what your conscience is pricking you to do.
Oh, listen, if you don't know, that is my brother from another mother. That is Jomo Okono, Access to Africa, every Sunday night right here on the legendary Power 96.5. So if you think that view was something, make sure you tune in and listen, because he'll take you across the world. Let's just talk about this for a second. Built up hopes, built up dreams, built up expectations. Is that something that we see a little bit too much of in our community? Yes, no, maybe so. Go for it. No dead air.
I I think it depends on what it surrounds.
Education. Is that something that we're saying, those expectations? I'm just going to go through some things in the community because you deal with community, right? So when you think of education, would you say for our city that the expectations are going where they need to go, or they're kind of still standard?
Judging from my after, okay, I think that they.
Y'all gotta be in the studio to see this for yourself. This is hilarious. Okay, hold on.
It's hanging.
It's
hanging.
It's hanging. They're about to incentivize the students. How about that? How do you feel about that? To pay them, really, to give them money for attendance.
Well, I understand the economics behind it. Mm-hmm. I understand and have seen some things with regards to our young people working internship programs in the summer, and parents coming and to pick up that check because they need help paying rent. Mm-hmm. They need help paying food, keeping food on the table. And so my issue with my concern,
I like it,
with the incentivized for attendance is, will our young people be able to keep that money for themselves? And secondly, can we have the conversation about the need for just why you need to be educated? Mm-hmm. I didn't think that I personally didn't start disliking school until high school, probably my junior year in high school, because I was ready to get out in the world. Mm-hmm. But before then, I loved going to school. It was non-negotiable. Mm-hmm. You know, my mother went to work, you going to school, and we're gonna in the evening have a conversation about what it is that you learned during the day.
Right.
I think that education, particularly for the thought or parents' perception of education, has definitely changed. And I don't know if it is because they've had a negative experience when they were in school, or the dynamics of the household has caused people to be uninterested in receiving education.
Okay, you know I love to stop y'all when we take the solar moment. Jomo pointed out that we have young people, so that's what we talked about earlier, right? There are young people who were expecting jobs. They went through the training. They're there, right? So now we're looking at, why is these educational options so important? Should I learn? What has changed in education? Let's talk about just that. I believe what has changed in education is the last thing you said, the family dynamics. I proudly am I'm a poster girl of that change, right? People look at me today and they're like, oh my gosh, she's married. Did y'all forget I had 4 children that I raised by myself? Do y'all know what it was like trying to find a job that could pay me enough to keep some money in my pocket to make sure that my boys could get a haircut? Let's talk about the change in when I used to go to school and then I became a mom trying to send my kids to school with not one teacher that looked like them. Let's talk about the fact that I was that mom that would show up at the school because I would take time. I'm taking off to go to the school, and then a principal tell me not to chastise my child. Huh? I don't have those rights anymore. So if we're talking about what has changed, once again, remember, y'all, this is the biggest classroom we'll ever have, and we're taking it right here from these studios on the legendary WUFO Mix 1080 AM, Power 96.5, right? But as we're taking this moment to learn, the changes started with when the home dynamics became a lot more burdensome, and what you had as a right became less. We weren't allowed to chastise our children. We're not allowed to, that 1-800 number, that's on everybody's refrigerator, and the kids know it by heart, right? And the schools, even though they don't want to call home, they want you to take part in what's going on in school, but then they want to make sure they throw their rights over you. What am I saying? We got a caller on the air. Thank you so much. Hey, caller, you on the air?
Good afternoon. This is Mother Doyle.
Hi, Ma.
Hey, Dr. Doyle.
Yes, either you can call me Dr. Doyle or Mother Doyle. I just want to say something. I agree with everything Brother Jomo has said. Everything, I'm approaching my 80th birthday in March. And everything I see, and I taught in the schools for more than 30 years, is still the same. Not much has changed. I want to start with the library. Close to 20 years ago, I started doing programs in the auditorium at the Meriwether Library. And sometimes I sat in that room by myself with nobody coming. The first person who came was Judge Jeanette Ogden. She brought her grandchildren to one of my programs. What I'm glad to see now, as so many people using that auditorium, which has been named after me because of all the hundreds of programs that I did there, I'm so glad to see people coming out. I'm so glad to hear you having a town hall meeting there. When I look at television, I see the crowd. I'm so encouraged by that because it started with one person sitting at, and sometimes I sat in that auditorium for more than 2 hours before anybody showed up. So I'm grateful for that. And Solar, I've been knowing Solar for a long, long time. She is indeed the community daughter. As far as education is concerned, the same issues we see today, I saw when I was a teacher in the Buffalo Public Schools. We still don't have enough teachers that look like us, especially black males. I did a lot to turn that over. And I want to say this as far as the trade unions. My late husband, Romeo Doyle Muhammad, had us a real time getting into the unions. He fought that battle many years ago. And it was Arthur O. Eve and some of the others who tried to open the door for black workers. So I'm just saying these things as a person who's almost 80 years old, and I see the same things going on.
Wow.
As I'm going to end with this. As far as education is concerned, we need to do more to encourage our young people, to motivate them, and to make education a priority.
Yes.
I'm going to give a shout out to 2 young people. Last week when it was snowing, it snowed all day. I had hired somebody to come and shovel my snow. So my doorbell rang. I went to the door, and it was 2 young people. They asked me, "Can I shovel your snow?" And I said, "Well, how much did you charge?" It was 2. So they said, "We charge $10 a piece." They went out there, they shoveled my driveway to the sidewalk. I have a big house. They did such a fine job. So when they came back, they said, "We just wanted to make a little money." So I gave them both more money than they asked for. And I said this to them: "You did a beautiful job. Thank you for helping me." They were so respectful. We have to do whatever we can to encourage our young people to be excellent. I just wanted to pass on. If you get the criterion this week, read my article. I'm celebrating 47 years writing and teaching black history in this community. I just wanted to pass, while I can speak, while I can talk,
My God.
and while I'm still here,
Yes.
I wanted to share just a little bit.
My God.
That's great.
So
and
thank
you've been
you for your
such an
program
educated.
and keep up the good work.
Thank
My
you.
God.
And thank you.
And
Thank
thank
you
you.
for your legacy.
Yes.
You're such an educator, and your reputation and your love for this community is very much documented. I just want to be the
Yes.
first to wish you, I hope, happy Black History Month. That's coming up next
Yes.
month, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And you've been a blessing.
Oh, Mother Doyle, thank you. And for every Rose Award that you've ever given, for every single scholarship that she's ever given. Yo, y'all got to realize that that mother has really given a lot to the community. So I really, really appreciate you, Mother Doyle. I never get a chance to call her Dr. Doyle because I'm always so spoiled being y'all daughter, calling y'all auntie, sister, and brother, and mom, and babas. So listen, I gotta give this shout out because it's very important and it's relevant. You don't know my story empowerment group and WAVE wave, right?
Yes.
Women Against Violence Everywhere. That's what this hour is brought to you by. But I must let you know about this program because the internships have blessed our city. The internships that these young women through WAVE and You Don't Know My Story has taken on has been a blessing to people tremendously. I mean, this organization has helped these young women get classes paid for, dues paid for. They've gone to proms, track and field equipment paid for. But there was an instance where the parents did use it, but it means it. Okay, so I'm going to read this the right way. This is an offline because I'm reading it right. And this is a testimony. Right. So I can't give the testimony like this can. But in a nutshell, the parents didn't even utilize the services as much as the children promoted the services that were to be used. Because parents are in shock. Like, you're going to do what? You're going to help what? And the children literally are a part of this because they know and they trust this organization. They have been gainfully blessed by this organization. They are able to achieve their goals by this organization. So I'm just happy that I'm a part of the organization and she lets me sit in on Saturdays, usually only on third Saturdays. But Marilyn, whenever you need me, I'm going to get it all right and together. So big shout out to Marilyn Young. You Don't Know My Story coming up in March, right? So let's just talk about this really quickly because I got to pay the bills, so to speak. Right. You Don't Know My Story. This will be my third or fourth year hosting this event. And what I have watched the group do is really take the testimony of different women, and when it goes into the atmosphere, what comes back is that other women are blessed, other women are freed, other women are no longer captive to whatever they're getting from those testimony. And this year I'm excited because it's a full weekend, even though it's the weekend before my birthday type of thing, Maryland. You know, we're gonna have to work that in. So March 5th through the 7th, You Don't Know My Story. You can go skating, you can go to the nighttime event, you can go to the daytime gathering, you can shop with the vendors. But at the end of the day, what this entire season is gearing up to is women, we need to get together. I'm going to switch modes just a little bit. Women, we need to get together because what we're seeing is as the women, we raise our voice, not raise our voice like talking me, but as we allow our voices to be used, right? I'm in my soft girl era, by the way. I keep saying that because it's so real, right? As we utilize our voices, we are the voices that nurture. You know, we are the voices that, say, hey, baby, can we do this? Miss Candace, you've been working in the community, and I'm saving Mama Grant because I already know she going to give us something, right? Mm-hmm. And Miss Candace, you've been working in a community center. You've been holding it down. You have been working with families. You done saw basketball. You had boxing there. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And my question to you is, what is one thing that you no longer have but would definitely want back because it made a difference at your center?
Scouting.
Talk about it.
So for, actually this will be my, February will be my beginning of my 11th year. Mm-hmm. And we have had scouting, both Boy Scouting and Girl Scouting, I think ever since the building was built, the new building. And so, and we continue to have multiple Girl Scout troops meet there, but we have not with Boy Scouts, and I know that a big part of that is because they had some internal issues, right. And I think folks got a little scared behind it, and so it kind of fell off, particularly in urban areas.
Okay.
And so, but there's so many things that scouting does for our young people. And so we are working on a grant with BSA, to have an opportunity for our young people in the city of Buffalo to come. And we're going to start with the smaller kids, the packed.
Right.
But the idea is to continue to grow it. And so there are some funders that we are looking at in order to defray the cost of having the program, at community centers like Delavan Grider Community Center and others. And so, but one of the things is we need to volunteer.
Ooh.
So if we want to talk about the thing that's missing,
Come on, and that's the only way of successful
in our community.
Yeah, that's the only way a successful town hall will happen is if we start to talk about the parts. You said scouting. How do you teach our children to advocate unless you teach them at a young age to be involved?
Yes.
That's the simple thing. It's not like they got a lot of children's choirs all over the place no more, right? So, I mean, and if it is, God bless, right? But what we're saying is we're starting with this conversation. How do we really, truly get our community back? We're starting with our kids. You're getting them involved in scouting, right?
Yes.
And then what else can we do?
We can volunteer.
That part.
We can volunteer. I am a Girl Scout leader. I've been a Girl Scout leader for probably 20 years. And it started because I adopted 3 little girls, and I wanted them to have the experience that I had as a girl. It does a lot of things for you, including building your self-esteem, being exposed to things at outdoor adventures, rock climbing, fishing, hiking. My mother was not hiking. She was hiking to work.
Yeah, that's the only hiking.
But she was not
get it.
hiking.
I get it.
And so a lot of things that we are not exposed to, it exposes you to. We take our Girl Scouts to UB every year to participate in a STEM Expo, where my girls get to see other women of color who are in engineering, who are engineers.
What was the movie?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures. Yeah, I get it.
And so scouting is one thing, but volunteering. I mean, I think growing up, I was in a part of so many organizations and so many things because we had people who volunteered, who shared their experience, who shared their love of whatever it was. So leading the choir. I was in the choir at St. Francis de Sales.
But back then, did you have a choice to be involved? I mean, I don't know. I
don't know if I had a choice.
choice.
I don't know if I had as many choices as our young people have today.
Right.
But I was interested in everything that I participated in. I'll say that.
Okay, that's a good thing.
But I think that our young people's options have also been are less.
Now, listen, if you are listening, you are tuned in, and that's a good breathing point, right? Options are less. And as we're thinking about Holler Back Buffalo 716-837-1112, we're really gearing up to see how do we get our community involved in town hall acknowledgement. I'm just going to use that word, right? Acknowledging that we need to be together, acknowledging that we should speak more. And then we took this conversation and brought it in because the foundation of us all, we all started off as children to someone, right?
Right.
Sometimes people still think I'm the same little girl, but I grew up a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Community's daughter, just a little bit. MC Queen Solar, just a little bit. But I say that because as we still have a great population of children watching us, I think that's the biggest thing that sometimes we forget, that our children are watching us. When I think about the You Don't Know My Story mentoring group, one thing I like about what we do, and Marilyn, you have shown me this at every event, you put your mentees to work. So as they grow older, they're governing the younger ones and they're overseeing the younger ones. So it begins to be this trickle down effect. The one thing that and it's trending online, Doug Ruffin, who was online earlier, he used to do, he still does this historical stuff, right? And back in the day when the Langston Hughes Institute, remember that?
Yes.
Big shout out to Dorothy Hill. She gave me and a whole bunch of young folks our first opportunity at Vision. And the trending video right now is when we did the intergenerational gap. How do you close the intergenerational gap? And we had our elders sit on one side of the table, and it's like 20 plus, or on the other side. And here we are having this conversation about the state of our community, and we're looking at it. And I won't tell you, you got to watch it yourself because it's online. But and we're looking at it from the systematic, right? We're like, well, the man got us, and we the hip hop generation, and we not gonna have it like that. And we're really thinking we saying something, right? You couldn't tell us we wasn't saying that. We were saying a lot. And then you have Baba Simba, rest in heaven, rest in peace. He's like, y'all folks don't know nothing. Y'all jive turkey done been sold out to the man every time. He's checking us because what we were missing, and I didn't realize that until the 33 hit me, just be honest, the dedication of standing together. The Black Panthers, you wasn't tearing them apart. Civil rights, you didn't. They marched on Washington. Then here come my generation, and it could be one rap stanza, not even a whole song. A stanza tore us apart. And that is something that I think that we need to think about as we move forward in these town halls. How do we close that intergenerational gap? How do we make sure that we're feeling Mother Doyle, when you called in, it was kind of like you said, things has not changed. Unfortunately, unless I talk to her, I won't know that.
Right.
Unless I sit at elders' feet. I sit at all my elders' feet. Y'all probably get sick of me because I'm showing up, I'm popping up, I'm questioning you. Lee over there like, yeah. Garvey over there like, yeah. Sheila Brown somewhere like, yeah. Marnetta Malcolm somewhere like, yeah. I could keep going to the elders whose feet I sit at, because the only way that I feel like I'm not a part of that gap is because I don't mind doing the work. But it's time that our community begins to do the work, because right now what we're facing is so unbelievable. Yes. What we're facing is something that we saw in movies, but right now there's nothing for you to walk out your house and seeing some families just ripped apart. We're not talking about, we thought our generation, well, it was forget the police. I'm trying to get my words because I don't want to say it right. Forget the police. That has heightened now. The police now got issues with the higher authority. Yeah. We're writing laws. We're watching our new mayor have to sign off on these laws that says that our neighbor should be able to call. Don't that sound like what we went through in civil rights? Don't that sound like what Black people was fighting for the whole time? Now it's across the board. So as we're preparing for these town halls, whether it's for the 33, ICE, or you and me, we have to learn how to communicate, because that's the only way we're going to exist and grow and be able to actually give our children something to look forward to. Yeah. Man, I didn't know that this was going to happen today. I didn't come out my house in the cold for this. I came to be cute on y'all's show an hour and 30 minutes ago. And go ahead, help me out, sis.
Town hall meetings are so important. And people need to bring their passion. I mean, I think someone said in our meeting the other night that we have got accustomed to being under the foot. Mm. That we have gotten accustomed to being the gum on the concrete. Mm. That we've gotten accustomed to being told this is how it's going to be, and we're going to give you this carrot. And how enraged we should be. So there was a younger person who said that, and he pinched me. If you know me, I don't like that. And he challenged us, for those who are disgusted, angry, and upset, that your input in how this project looks and where this project can go, that you need to share that. I'm someone who, I can be enraged, but I'm not going to be yelling and screaming. But I recognize that everybody's language and everybody's flavor is different. Mm. And so it's so important for you to be authentically you, but also to come and be a part of the conversation. Share how you feel, what it is that you would like to see. Because we need for the Department of Transportation, we need for the people in the city of Buffalo, and for the people who we don't see, that we know are in the background, who are a part of this project, to know that we're not asleep.
We woke. And you need to stay woke.
Yeah.
That's a message. As a matter of fact, stay so woke, because I want you to this is how God works, right? This is truly how God works. As we're planting seeds, right? Or should I say watering seeds, because these seeds have already been planted. This is, as a matter of fact, every Saturday morning you turn on Power 96.5 and you hear conversation after conversation about the state of our community. You hear show after show come on about the state of our community. You pick up the Challenger, the state of our community, right? So the seeds that are being watered in this season are leading us somewhere. As a matter of fact, March 5th from 6 to 9 at Elam. You ready for this? You Don't Know My Story is going to have this intergenerational conversation happening then. So between now and then, what I challenge us to do is prepare yourselves. What do you feel needs to be closed in this gap? And let's make it so simple as a recipe. Everybody missing Scotty's steak. So big shout out to all my folks that's out there with your steak houses and your subs and you doing your thing. I ain't gonna go in y'all conversation that y'all having online, but the queen sees everything. But do you show the next generation or your generation that you're so committed to making the best next sauce that your sauce is your sauce, and if somebody else make their sauce, they special sauce is like the M and the B. Them people been in competition making French fries and burgers for years, but they're still around. A lot of times what happens for us is we get so caught up in the beef that we disappear.
Right.
Our business is closed. Our mindset's closed. And more than anything, I think I'm ready for this. Thank you. I'm being, y'all don't understand. When I'm behind the mic, I be getting directions, having fun, and bringing passion. And I don't know how to turn that passion off. And back in the day, my passion was misconstrued as I was really hurt. And so hurt people, like the dog, I found out hurts people. So I used to walk around and my passion was mistaken as I was angry. But I've never been angry. I was just hurt. I was injured. I was right. So when you're bringing your passion, it is a way that you can convey your passion, and it can be passionate, but it doesn't have to be profane. Right? And I think that is something. So I want to thank Marilyn so much, because on top of everything else, I cannot skate, but I am guaranteed to get one of those things in March. And when I get on, I'm going to have the holder.
I call it the walker.
The walker. I'm going to have the walker because I'm going to get on some skates, but I'm going to skate it out. So what am I saying to everybody right now as we are gearing up to this season? Miss Candace, this is what I've been working on. So I'm just going to take a solar moment. May I take it? Because this has been a lot. I didn't expect it. So I'm having a lot of downloads right now. This is wired differently, right? So this is what I'm thinking about right now. One, in order to heal, I want people to understand that the arts can help you. That is my platform. I'm sticking to it. So what does that look like? Whether you draw your way through, skate your way through, sing your way through, dance your way through, make money all the way through, sleep your way through if you got to. What is the art? Because it's an art in sleeping, it's just about timing and stuff. I found that out when I learned about taking naps. That's why they do it in other countries. That's so them people ain't as stressed as we is in America.
And they are productive.
That part. So what is the art that you're going to utilize to make sure that as you're getting ready for this town hall meeting, you're getting ready to take part in the 33 conversation, be focused. Be focused, because I saw a lot of things that was all over the place. Don't jump. Stay in one lane. No pun intended. I think they probably going to try to give us an additional lane if they do that. I don't know, or take away one. But however it goes, stay in your lane and kind of like roll with that lane. So we're going to take it from the top. But what we started off, right? The 33 project, pick a lane. And if it's agriculture, stick with it. If it's the emissions.
If it is your fear of gentrification, if it is you're concerned about your property value, if you're concerned about your homestead, your family, what the future looks like.
Do your homework. Read about it. talk to other like-minded people. That's pretty much why they say when you go to church, you go with fellow folks that, you go to a certain church, you got a certain mindset. Not that it's a bad mindset. It's just you fellowship with like-minded people, right? And so let's
To
take
be
it
fed. To be fed.
You want
To be fed.
And you can't be fed if you're all over the place. Now, don't judge me because I am a little all over the place, but I'm designed like this. It's not my fault. It's just, I can go
We all are.
Yeah, right. So, but what I mean is, and let's break it down. Please, for those of you who have not gained a greater knowledge of what the 33 Project is, talk to my friends at the East Side Parkway. I can tell you they cool. I done walked into their meetings, ate their pizza. Big shout out to Nate Benson because he had me all on Channel 2. It was like, what? Claudia Ewing. I love you all. Why am I shouting out to community? Because these are people who take a part. They take part in what we do, responsible for it too. I love that part. So listen, before we go, I got a fun question to ask. How many of you ready for this, are so over cabin fever? 716-837-1112. And is this cabin fever being caused by just the cold, or is it global warming that got us here? Y'all should have saw how I sat back in the chair when I asked that question. Do you believe in global warming?
I believe in global warming.
Do you think that that's how we got here?
I'm not sure. I mean, I when you go back and you think about Buffalo and our winters, I just think this is more of the same. But I also recognize that I am someone who is affected by the lack of sunlight.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that a lot of people it's been gray consistently
I could never live in Alaska.
for weeks. And for me, that's got me down. Like yesterday, I was like, "Ooh, it's a little warmer outside than it has been in 2 weeks." The fact that I can remember that it's been 2 weeks,
To the T.
is remarkable because I'm so focused on so many other things. But right now, this weather, the coldness, traversing in it, is like the number one thing. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, when is it going to be spring? Is it really going to be spring soon?
It should be.
I think we are over it.
We definitely are. And I ask that because for those of you who are involved in the community, right? For those of us who are creatives, and it's like this weather really is a different type of space. And I also ask that because I want to encourage somebody in this incubator time, right? This is the perfect time to prepare yourself for the town hall. This is the perfect time to get a notebook and a pen and write the vision and make it plain. This is the first time that I'm going to say this. Write out your question. This is the last time I'm going to say it. Write out your question, and so that you know what it is that you want. And then, you know what, while you're stuck in the house, guess what? It's this thing called the internet. Everything that goes on Google is real. No, I'm just joking. But you can find a lot of information by what is an emission? What is going on with that? What is you don't know my story? I like to talk to my Alexa. Alexa, tell me a little bit more about, and she answers, right? This is the perfect time, right? While we're locked in the house, your children not in school, and your children just not in school. And I know that because I would be in school with them, right? Somewhere. But your children not in school because they're on remotely or not. But this is also the perfect time to ask these questions with them. This is the perfect time that if you're at home and they're at home to ask them, who are your teachers? People wonder why my new logo is Sesame Street. You want to know why? Come on, you got to say why.
Why?
Thank you for asking. It's so important.
I did see you with that Sesame Street shirt.
Yeah, that is, you got to get a shirt. Like my merch, my new merch has Sesame Street on it because who are the people in your neighborhood? And the funny thing is, depending on what mindset you have, they're like looking at the characters. But no, that is a childhood memory that makes me think of who are the people in our neighborhood, the people that we meet each day. The mailman is a person in your neighborhood. Do you even know your mailman nowadays? Right? So I thought of this concept to encourage people to get to know the people in your neighborhood and stay connected. Right? Because some of us can have Oscar the Grouch days all day, but when you sat with Oscar the Grouch, you left knowing something. Whether you like it or not, Big Bird is just the biggest bird, but he was the kindest bird you could ever see. So as you go through all of these things in life, I want to encourage somebody that during this time, I dare you to just focus and really go into what it is that you're called to go in. And if you stop minding everybody else's business, I learned something, yours will grow. And then if you support other people's business, guess what? they'll support you back. And if you speak kind to people, guess what? You'll get that in return. But one thing I don't want nobody to get twisted, Miss Candace. Don't think that the same pot that you pour into is going to be the same pot to pour back into you, because it always does not work out that way. So as we're doing this work in the community, continue to pour into your passion. Continue to pour into the passions of the community that you have the most passion about. But please do not expect that pouring to come back from the same cup. Be prepared to have that passion and that love come from an outside source. Be okay with something not normal fitting into your obscure life. I don't really know why I'm saying this or who I'm saying it to, but I'm letting somebody know today that what you're pouring out, you're going to get a portion back, but it's not going to come from the position that you think. So stop getting deterred because of the weather. Yeah, it's cold, but using your time wisely, closing the intergenerational gaps in your own home so that when you go back out into the community, guess what? Now you got community and you got family to help you. I challenged some folks online the other day, and it was a funny challenge. I've been just doing crazy stuff online. I'm having the most. I brought the rubber band. You remember the rubber band ball? He's alive now. If you look online, he gives people encouraging, motivating words, and I still take the actual rubber band ball around to tell people you can bounce back. So I'm still collecting rubber bands.
Okay.
But also the challenge that went out is, I dare you to go to a page, a person, an organization, since we all doing this online and we stuck in the house, that you usually just look at and scroll past. I dare you to just press a like. I dare you that if it's really informative and it's a town hall, it's information that we need, the snow closings, whatever it is, I dare you to stop only sharing the negative things online, but I dare y'all to start posting and commenting and liking and loving and giving people what they need while they're here that's positive. Because we go hard on sharing negative stuff. We go hard on sharing rumors. We go real hard on saying stuff that don't make a difference. But see, you don't know my story, so I'm going to give you a little bit right here. It ain't worth it. It's not worth doing that. In the day and age we're living in, the news stations have the responsibility, and they're very accountable for spreading the real bad news, because it's real and it's just bad and it's news. So today, if somebody out there is listening, which we are glad you are, I want to remind you that we're having a town hall for the 33. When again? Yeah, take your time. We're having a town hall for the 33 Expressway, and you are invited. It looks like they're taking us on a tour of Western New York to get back over to the actual 33, but, you know, it's worth it. Maybe, and you are offering rides, I understand, so East Side Parkway is offering
Yes, we've been
support.
offering rides for all of the Queen City Forward sessions, listing sessions that are outside of the city of Buffalo. We have been providing rides. I was the person who carried the food to
You always got the food.
That's what I do.
I know.
To the senior center in Cheektowaga, so that folks who wanted to get out there to share their view with the way that the event was set up, they were able to do that, and to bring their children if they had to bring their children along, because it was during dinner time.
Wow.
You know, and so that's one thing that
No wonder you always bring the food.
always bring the food. And that's one thing that we do, is because we recognize that people are, however they are transporting, that they are probably not oftentimes alone. We're talking about people working families. Mm-hmm. And we recognize, and we're trying to encourage those people who are working to come and know that they're going to be able to feed their children, they're going to be able to feed themselves, but they're also going to be able to ask questions, get information. And so we do that at all of our Eastside Parkways Coalition meetings. So we are at St. Philip's on the first Thursday from 5:30 to 7. We're there on the third Friday at Delavan Grider Community Center at the same time. So if you are curious, if you want to share your family story or your story, please, we invite you to come to our meetings. If you don't like the position that ESP has regarding the Kensington 33, we welcome your concerns. We welcome why you don't feel that way, because we recognize that that's how we have what we consider to be educated conversations.
Definitely. Well, I want to thank you so much because you're the last of the standing Mohegans.
So, and sorry, let me get back because I forgot.
Okay.
So the Eastside Parkway's town hall meeting is going to be on February the 18th at the Merriweather Library from 5 to 7:30. So we want to hear your story. We want to hear what you have to say. We want you to come and ask questions. There is no question that's stupid, but a question that's not answered and not asked.
That part right there. So you have that just in case you just want something fun to do while you're preparing your mind. Next Friday, first Friday, I will be hosting at Jenny's. If you like live music, yes, that's right. I'll be at Jenny's. Jenny's on Ferry, right around the corner. Girl, I'm gonna be out there. You got to go to my Facebook page to find out.
Okay.
Also, how many of you are looking for Black History events? All you got to do is make sure you turn around and take a solar moment. This has been Holla Back Buffalo, brought to you by Wave and You Don't Know My Story, right here on the legendary Mix 1080 WUFO and Power 96.5. Peace.
Thank you.